As 2019 approaches, questions abound about San Antonio's new paid sick leave law. A new task force scrutinizes developers' habitat claims. And San Antonio University's restart programs in Mexico. Subscribe to this and other free content at expressnews.com/podcasts. And get each day's top news and sports headlines delivered to your inbox at expressnews.com/newsletters. In August, the San Antonio City Council passed an ordinance requiring private employers to provide paid sick leave, and the new law begins January 1st. But despite several months since the passing of the ordinance, questions abound about how the regulation will affect San Antonio residents and businesses. While the ordinance takes effect January 1st, enforcement won't begin until August, and businesses with 5 employees or less won't be affected until August 1st, 2021. But by then, the provision, passed by a progressive city council, will likely have been taken up by a GOP-controlled legislature, whose leaders aren't thrilled about city-mandated sick leave pay, and Governor Greg Abbott has vowed to sign whatever anti-sick leave pay bills reach his desk. In November, the Third Court of Appeals declared a similar law enacted by the Austin City Council unconstitutional, and State Attorney General Ken Paxton has already informed Mayor Ron Nirenberg San Antonio's ordinance is against state law. Under Alamo City's ordinance, private employers with 15 or fewer employees will have to provide 6 days of paid time off a year. Larger businesses will provide 8. Workers will be able to use sick days for their own or a family member's physical or mental illness or preventative care. Days could also be used for taking legal action and moving or obtaining victim services in situations related to domestic violence, sexual assault, or stalking. Employers who run afoul of the ordinance would have an opportunity to correct the violation before paying a $500 civil fine, with money from fines being used to pay for the program. When real estate developer Matt Hiles filed plans in 2016 to build a 500-unit apartment complex on the northwest side, he told city officials his project would not harm any endangered species on the hilly, tree-covered property. But it wasn't until last summer, when bulldozers scraped away up to 38 acres of trees from the mansions at La Cantera site, that officials learned Hiles had given them incomplete information. The city temporarily halted the project, but upset residents complained the damage had already been done. The U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service is conducting a criminal investigation to determine if violations of the Endangered Species Act occurred at the property, and now a new city task force is reviewing the city's development process to make sure officials aren't blindsided by real estate projects in environmentally sensitive areas. At issue is a city habitat compliance form that Hiles submitted stating his project would not harm endangered golden-cheeked warbler songbirds and also karst invertebrates. But other documents now show research of the area focused only on golden-cheeked warblers and did not consider karst invertebrates. And Trinity University business students will head south this fall to work with Mexican students on a semester-long entrepreneurial project and to explore the city of Monterrey. The university stopped sending students to Mexico in 2011 due to safety concerns, but has now resumed trips and is actively working to expand offerings in Mexico as part of an effort to encourage students to consider careers in Latin America. Other San Antonio universities are also looking south. St. Mary's University recently launched a spring break study trip to Guadalajara for law students, and the University of the Incarnate Word is encouraging more students to study abroad at its satellite campuses in Mexico. The shifts are in line with a national increase showing about a 10% growth in U.S. students studying in Mexico each of the past 2 years, though current numbers are still nowhere near the peak of more than a decade ago. Subscribe to this and other free content at expressnews.com/podcasts.